Hi everyone. This week is our last class in speech, and our theme this week is persuasive speaking. And I'm going to try to persuade you that 50s rock and roll music is the greatest influential and iconic genre in music history and is so worth listening to. The 50s is home of the electric guitar, the hip gyration. It was full of rebellious teens who loved to break the rules, play and blast loud music. And what better music to do that than the 50s rock and roll? I know you've all heard of Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, or even seen a vinyl. If you haven't, you should probably go talk to your parents or grandparents about it because they love to speak anything about the past. The 50s was such an upcoming time that it's a big influence in their lives, and I would know that my grandparents and my father, we like to just sit and just talk about the past and what it was like back in those times. I feel like I'm a credible source to be talking to you about this because not only am I a lover of rock and roll, but I grew up listening to it with my dad. He is he has this garage, and from floor to ceiling, on all three sides of his garage is nothing but vinyl records. And still to this day, if I go visit him, he will pull out. We'll go through, we'll find a couple of select records that we love. He'll pull them out. He'll pull out his old record player, which I probably think might still be from the 50s. It is so big. But nothing sounds better but to listen to those old vinyls on that old record player. It just brings you back to almost a feeling like you're in that time. I've also done some research on the 50s rock and roll music over the last few days. And it's a unified forcing between it was a unified force between the races. It benefited moods, and it was also home of the great icons. And so hopefully I will be able to persuade you into listening to it too. So there was a man named Alan Freed who was also known as the father of rock and roll, and he helped bridge the gaps of separation between young American teens. And according to the History Channel, there was a coronation ball called the Moondog Ball that Alan Freed held. It was held in March 21st, 1952, and it was the first ever rock and roll concert to headline African Americans and Caucasian artists. It was so big that it brought on 20 to 25,000 of racial mixed fans. Now, if any of you know anything of the past, this is a big step because there was not lots of mixing of races in that time. Segregation was still real big, and so for just because of music brought on this is just shows so much of how it paved the path for like people like Elvis Presley. He paved the path for white Americans to listen to African American music. Little Richard, an African American artist who quoted that Elvis Presley was a blessing, that they wouldn't let black music through, but he opened the door. There was things like this historian named Marcy Wallace, and she was an Elvis historian. And in 1950, the rock and roll was credited to promoting integration and opening up the opportunities for blacks while bringing on their values and styles. See, so the 50s was not only a time for this music, but the music itself brought on so many opportunities for so many people and opened up so much possibility for where we are today. So that's how it unified our forces in races, and it also helped benefit the 50s. The 50s rock and roll helped benefit our moods. There is a psychologist out of Penn State. Her name was Valerie Stratton. She did a case study with a professor of music named Annette Zawalski, and they conducted a study on 47 college students. They wanted these college students to take a log of the music they listened to for a couple weeks, and they wanted them to make a list of their moods. They wanted the list to be of before and after listening to the music. So after this study was done and it was concluded, the rock music of choice seemed to be the music that the college students chose the best out of. It made these students feel joyful and optimistic. They said they were friendly, relaxed, and calm. Now, nowadays, I don't think that the rock music would be the music of choice because rock music nowadays is a little too heavy, and to me, it just gives me a headache. I don't think I could be what I would want to listen to. But 50s rock is different. It was made you happy. It made you want to get up and dance, have a lot of fun. That's what that music genre brought on. Also, the 50s rock and roll brought on great icons. Elvis Presley, I named him before. He's a rock and roll legend. He's the king of rock and roll. He had Billboard hits that chart. Billboard refers him to as chart royalty. He topped off with 108 Billboard Hot 100 hits, 80 Billboard Top 40 hits, 129 Billboard 200 albums, and 67 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Top 200. That is just astonishing. You know, then the Little Richie. He's the dynamic music. He's known for laying the foundation of rock and roll. According to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Little Richard remains an iconic artist still today. There is he's been honored by many institutions such as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Songwriters Hall of Fame. So as you see, 50s music not only unified the races, not only brought on better moods in people, but it was also a home of great icons that are still known today. I'm going to conclude this speech with a quote from the King of Rock and Roll. He says, "Rock and roll music, if you like, if you feel it, you can't help but move. That's what happens to me. I can't help it. So if you like to move and just have fun, go out and try 50s rock music. Trust me, you won't regret it." This has been a great class, and I would like to thank you all for watching my speeches and your great feedback to what you've given me. I hope and wish all of you the best of luck in your studies and where your future may hold. And thank you for everything. Hope you all have a good night.